Muckluck here, and these are my final thoughts on Everspace 2. After watching this video, you should know whether or not this game is right for you and if you think it would be worth the purchase. Everspace 2 is a single-player space sim action RPG. It is available on PC, Xbox, and PS5 and is not yet rated, but I am anticipating it will be T for teen. It is currently priced at $50 US. The game settings with no spoilers beyond the tutorial. You play the role of Adam. A pilot trying to leave his past behind him and get on with a normal life, but the past keeps catching up. Adam was born a military clone. Imagine like the clones in Star Wars trying to live a normal life after the war is over. And as such, he knows a lot of things people would rather he didn't. Unlike many other titles I've played, the goal for the game changes multiple times over the journey. The main consistent element is that Adam is trying to survive, but he also prefers to help people when he gets the chance, which gets him into a lot of situations. General gameplay. You start off with a basic ship and can play in 4 different view modes. You have a few weapon slots that use energy, not ammo, so you swap between them when the energy is depleted so it can recharge. Secondary weapons such as missiles and mines are consumables that you can make more of or purchase when you run out, with a few exceptions. As you explore, complete puzzles, gather resources, defeat and loot enemies, you will gather many items that can be equipped, sold, or deconstructed into their base components, like a Guild Wars salvage kit, allowing you to use those components to craft other things that you prefer. Anything you craft will be your level, encouraging you to recraft gear that you failed to replace for a while to catch it up to your current power. Items are sold for different amounts in various systems, allowing you to do trader-style gameplay if you wish as well. As you gain money, you will have opportunities to trade your entire ship in and upgrade to a new one, and there are many different types, such as ones with small drones that fly around it, helping it in fights like a Protoss carrier, and the bomber, which gives consumable weapons an energy bar so they can be used infinitely with a small cooldown between shots. There is a mountain of customization for your ship type, its weapons, devices, cosmetics, and the perks you use. There are many moments in this game where Adam leaves his ship, but this is always covered via conversations at a dock or cutscenes. All of the actual gameplay is within your vessel. Everspace 2 took me just over 32 hours to finish the main story, but this game is massive. I was reminded of how I felt in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, in that if I took the time to explore every region and do every side quest, this game would easily surpass 100 hours of entertainment if you enjoy the gameplay. At endgame, you also unlock nightmare difficulty, and an infinitely repeatable endgame system where you travel into rips in space and defeat enemies and challenges with higher level loot based on how high you turn up the difficulty. Comparisons to other games. It's important to note that you do not have to play Everspace 1 to enjoy the second. While playing the original can provide some context and backstory to Everspace 2, it is not necessary to enjoy the sequel. That aside, the game actually feels a lot like an action RPG as far as many randomly generated zones and events, equipment, and loot. But of course, it does it with the gameplay of a space sim, and it does a really good job tying these different genres together smoothly. The details. Graphics. Most of what you see outside of the cinematics are ships, terrain, space, and wildlife, and even with only those, I feel they did a fantastic job. The details on the ships as you do upgrades, the floating cities in space, the star systems as you travel past them, were all beautiful. Sound and music. The sounds of the voice actors, weapons, and ships were all great, don't get me wrong, but what I really have to boast about in this department was the music. Each star system had its own music track, and most of them were absolute jams. The boss fights also really got you into a great mood with their tracks. Controls. The game can be played with mouse and keyboard, controller, or joystick. I played the game with a mouse and keyboard and have had no issues other than my own brain. Saving system. The game auto-saves frequently, but you can also make a manual save anytime you are not in combat and not in quick travel. Content creator concerns. None. I streamed my entire playthrough on Twitch and uploaded the entire thing to our Muckluck Plays YouTube channel and did not experience any muted VODs or have any issues with copyright claims. Do I have anything negative to say? My game was 99% bug-free, with a few cutscenes missing frames and looking a bit jarring. Aside from that, while not entirely negative, one thing was worth mentioning. This is one of those games where the level of your character and equipment matters a lot. If you just tunnel vision the main story without side questing, you will suddenly end up fighting enemies enemies a few levels higher than you and getting killed in a few hits. To avoid some of the small confusions and frustrations that I had when this happened, look for chances to gain extra XP such as side quests and exploration. If you have a piece of gear many levels lower than you, remember that by crafting it again, you will make a new one that is your level, which can be a huge jump in stats. Check ship dealers periodically as their stock changes and see if you can find other ships or higher level versions of the same ship you already have if you like it. Final thoughts. I love ARPGs and was incredibly surprised that this felt like playing an ARPG in a space sim wrapper. I had a lot of fun playing this and enjoyed the solid story writing as well. It was not cliche and I was not able to predict what was going to happen, which has been a rarity for me in many games lately. For good writing, nearly bug-free gameplay, great graphics and sound, a solid story, a massive amount of content, and bottom line fun, I have to say that Everspace 2 did indeed feel worth its cost. It is also worth mentioning that it has a free demo on Steam if you'd like to try it before making any purchases. This video was not sponsored, so if you enjoyed it, please consider hitting that like button to help us out with the YouTube algorithm and subscribe for more content. If you'd like to see more of my own playthrough of Everspace 2, I'll include a link to that playlist from our other channel down below. As always, a massive thank you to our dear patrons who make content like this possible. If you'd like to become a supporter and earn early access, there's a link to that in the description. Make sure you check your rearview mirror when backing up.